Thanksgiving and the day after are two of the busiest days of the year for plumbers across the country. Between food prep and cleanup, if some of your guests didn't scrape off their plates properly, all that food can end up down the drain. That can lead to clogs. And finding a plumber is not always easy or cheap. So here to help us enjoy a stress-free holiday is Joe Bany. He's the Director of Field Operations with John Moore Services. Thanks for coming in. We know you guys are going to be working overtime this week.
Right. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, and I mean, let's talk about why. Why with Thanksgiving? I said, is it toilets? Is it the kitchen sink? And you're like, it's both.
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything, right? So especially if you're hosting, as we were talking earlier, you've got 20, 30 people at your house and you're using the facilities, and it doesn't really cause the problem. You probably have an existing problem already, but that major use will expose, then maybe a bad sewer line or something weird underneath your house.
Yeah, and it is the worst possible time to have a clog, whether it's in a bathroom or the kitchen sink. But let's talk about the kitchen sink, since so many people are going to be cooking and you're going to have people and guests over eating. What is the biggest culprit? I mean, what should we avoid putting down the drain or the garbage disposal?
The biggest culprit is us, right? we use the garbage disposal and we think everything that's in the kitchen can go down the garbage disposal. And it can, but it's probably not the right use of it, right? So most of the stoppages we really deal with on Thanksgiving Day or the day after are locational stoppages, meaning we've overloaded the garbage disposal. We dump that big bowl of potato salad down or something in there, lettuce and potato peels, and it just jams up just past the garbage disposal because we're not giving it time. We're jamming it down with a spoon. We're not letting the water run, and then it just, guilty. We all are. And so that's the biggest problem is the way we use it.
And I mean, what you said, with so many people over and so many leftovers and food that when you're cleaning up, you said we should just put it in the garbage can.
Right.
And I mean, just take out the garbage and just save the garbage disposal for scraps.
Yeah, the scraps left over on your plate, fine, perfectly fine. But the big stuff, the leftover stuff you don't want to keep, you're not going to package up, throw in the trash.
Yeah.
And then when you use the garbage disposal, let it run, let the water run a good while after you're done with it and you've run the garbage disposal. A lot of people will run the garbage disposal, they hear it's clean now, and they shut the water off, and they're still sitting there, right? So the next time you use it, it's piling on top of. One of the things I like to do is once I've used the garbage disposal, go ahead and fill that sink up with water a little bit, about halfway full, turn the garbage disposal back on, pull the drain, and let that water flush all of that stuff into the bigger pipes where it can handle it.
Okay, got it. I mean, well, when it comes to putting things down there, things that we should never put down there, are grease or potato peelings causing more problems?
Yeah, grease is going to be a long-term natural buildup because we're doing it every single day. Potato peels are really difficult during the season because they kind of flatten out and go through, and then they bundle up on the backside. Lettuce will do the same thing. Noodles will do the same thing. So be really, really careful. I wouldn't put that stuff down the drain.
Yeah.
The grease is, man, you should really just put that in a container or a jar, and if you don't want to keep it to cook next time, throw it away. Yeah. Because it will be a big issue down the road.
A big issue. And so you said, the container. You mean the butter container?
Whatever you want to use.
Put it in the old butter container and then put it in the trash can and take it all out.
Yep.
So we should be checking right now, when is my trash pickup this week? Because mine's usually on Thursday. That's not happening.
Right.
So you kind of need to know if you're putting all of those things there. So some of the other things, flushing it with water, you said, does it need to be hot water whenever you do that, or that's better?
Hot water will help if you do have grease in there, and you can't help that, right? I mean, even if you catch most of it, you're going to be washing it. So hot water with a little bit of soap in there can help break some of that stuff down and help push it through the line. What you want to do is get it to a spot in the pipe in which a big volume of water can move it, right?
Okay.
So when it settles, that's where a problem can have. And when I talked about earlier, older homes this time of the season will expose a problem. As your house gets old, it can shift and settle, and you have what we call bellies in the line. And those are settle spots in the drain system where grease can accumulate, and then it just builds on top of itself. So the hot water only helps you so far. If you have issues, then you need to get a professional out and clean the line. We can jet it, snake it, and in some cases we have to repair it.
Right. This has all been great information, and we love the plumbers. But to avoid a phone call there, if I've got a clog, what's the first thing that I should do before I pick up the phone to call somebody?
If it's in your kitchen sink, which a lot of them will be, if you're handy, you can take a look underneath there. A lot of drains nowadays are screw-on drains underneath there, and so you can actually take it apart and clean it out yourself and put it back together. If you're not handy, give us a call. We're working. We'll come help you out.
Yeah, you're kidding me. I'm supposed to take it apart? You said if you're handy.
If you're handy,
right?
You feel like you can tackle it, go ahead and do it.
How much does it typically cost to clear a drain like that? Like
it doesn't. It all depends on where it's at. I mean, there are specials and deals usually around the holiday season, so 100 or so, or it'll get somebody out to take a look. But if it's bigger than that, it's bigger than that.
Yeah. Ugh. All right. Well, if we follow all of this advice on not shoving stuff down the drain, then maybe we don't need to call.
Right.
But we appreciate it. Thank you so much, Joe Bany, for
again.
coming in this morning, and happy Thanksgiving. All right, we're going to take a quick break.